going on, everyone? I'm Adam Munshi. Welcome to Halal Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Safi Khan, Youth Director at Memphis Islamic Center, counselor and student of knowledge. He's known for his weekly gatherings with delicious desserts and his love for bubble tea. Safi, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So how are you with spicy food?
I'm Bengali, so spicy food is natural growing up for us, so I'm pretty sure I think I'll be able to handle it.
What's the hottest thing you've ever tried?
The hottest thing I've ever tried is definitely, well, in Bangladesh you have like something called a naga maricha, I think, which is like ghost chili, so that's the hottest thing I've ever had in my life, and I tried it.
Did you eat the whole thing?
No, I took a bite. And
how was your day after that?
I canceled it. I canceled my entire day after that, so it didn't go so well. There's a decent amount of flavor. It tastes like ramen.
This one right here?
Cholula.
Not that bad. We all have it in our fridges. Through your path of life, after all the Sunday schools, the summer camps, all the lectures that you've been listening to, what made you choose to become a youth director?
I think it's more so the fact that I grew up kind of being like, obviously like growing up in this country as a teenager and kind of seeing what people go through, and so kind of want to make sure that folks are in good hands, like they're with a person, their youth director, that can relate to them and sort of stuff like that, and not have like a 30 or 40 year old kind of like, leading them through the week and through the month and stuff like that. So I kind of want to make sure that what I didn't have, I wanted them to have.
That's right. So
that's kind of like one of the most important things for me. That's why I kind of chose this field. And obviously, honestly, I got this job kind of randomly, honestly.
Did you see yourself doing this before?
No. Honestly, I told people the story that this job happened within like a month. I was literally graduating to be a teacher, like a middle school, elementary school teacher, and then MIC was kind of like going through the hiring process and randomly called me up and said, you've been living here for so long, you build a lot of trust with people, so that's kind of like why I kind of chose to do it, because everything just fit, everything just clicked, so that's why.
So the next one, we asked what people have it in their restaurants. Okay. Pretty common.
How much, did you like douse this in there or what?
Basically. Are you feeling it yet or no?
There's a little bit of a
Shouldn't
kick.
Be too bad.
No, there's a little bit of a kick now, but it's not like anything that's making me stop, so that's a good sign, I guess.
So now that you take this role in your same city, what are some challenges that you face, like being in the same city that you grew up in?
Uncles not taking you seriously for the first year was my biggest struggle. It's like, what right does he have to like do this rather than somebody from the outside who's more qualified? That was definitely the first, the biggest hurdle I had to cross over. But honestly, the worst thing you can do at that moment is to kind of like get defensive, be like, no, this is my job, I belong here. Like the best thing to do is just quietly and
you kind of have to earn that.
Exactly, it's just a part of the learning process. You can't just kind of be firing back at them. You have to learn that this is common. Like uncles that saw you grow up in your diapers, you're giving them a khutbah the next Friday. So like it's kind of weird. You kind of been through it. You grew up in this community too. You lead prayer sometimes and stuff like that, and you realize that always grass is always greener on the other side. So people from the outside are always going to look more attractive to you than people in your own city. So that's kind of like that's the main thing I've had to deal with. But 2 years in, I think that barrier has been kind of like broken down a little bit. So
it's a familiar thing.
I drink one drink of water. It's not for spice.
Hey, you guys are watching this, right?
It's not for spice. It's because my mouth is dry.
On barbecue.
Oh, this one's sweet. This one's better than the last one, I feel. It was like, this is not as spicy as the last one.
Yeah, it's not that bad. So what are one of your best moments living in Memphis?
It was actually kind of, it was like when I was younger. I remember one of my most memorable moments that like we just had fun with for a long, long time is when a dear beloved imam of ours was giving a khutbah at a masjid, which will not be named. And it was during Ramadan, and midway he was like starting to cough up a little bit, and all of a sudden he asked for some water. He's like, brother, can I have some water? In the middle of the khutbah while he was fasting, and people had to remind him that he was fasting. So it was a little bit awkward. So I think that was one of my funnest, most interesting memories growing up in Memphis, I think. And I think we had a good laugh about that. But the reason why we pick on him is because he's the one like that really taught me how to read Quran and stuff like that. So I have the right to pick on him because that was a really good moment though. But yeah, that was definitely funny. He had a lot of sayings that was really good.
Anything else comes to mind?
Man, some of the retreats that we took were hilarious. Bus rides, stuff like that. Just kind of like just day-to-day hanging out. A lot of folks just joking around as guys. I think that was probably the funniest things growing up in Memphis, I guess. That was my favorite memory. Why is it green?
Well, look where it's from. It's from Casablanca, their hottest sauce.
This is their hottest sauce?
Their hottest sauce has a decent kick to it, but...
You went on and asked for this?
Yeah, actually. They sell this for like $6. Two of these.
This is the one right here?
It's a pretty good deal, and like you can eat it with anything.
Okay, here we go.
So I know that you like to try new things, new places. What are the top 3 places you like to go eat in Memphis?
Am I gonna get a lot of hate from non-Z people? Or Z people?
Go for it.
Samir's sitting there cursing me out. Well, the best place, I mean, Memphis, everyone comes to. Tom's is undeniable. I mean, everybody that I've known that's come to Memphis has always asked for Tom's barbecue. The best thing on their menu, the beef ribs. You can't compete with that. Number 2 has to be probably, I want to say Tanur is definitely number 2. But it's honestly borderlining because I'm not Z, so I don't know, man. Sometimes for me, Chick-fil-A just hits the spot, dude. I know how common that is to say, but you as a U of M student understands the merits of Chick-fil-A on a middle of like a Tuesday at 11 a.m.
It's all you got, honestly.
You can't replace it. And the last one, I don't know. Hattie B's is killing. Hattie B's in downtown is killing with their chicken. So I'm a big chicken person. I love eating chicken. So Hattie B's definitely has to be my 3rd on the list. So.
We see a recurring store that you like to visit on your social media. What about IKEA draws you in week by week?
I don't know. I think I realized throughout the past 2 years that I really like design. I like kind of like putting things in homes and like kind of figuring out what looks good with what. And I have a lot of wall stuff up on my walls in my apartment. And I think that happened after I got married. Before I got married, my parents used to complain to me all the time how messy and gross my room was. And now they come into my apartment and they're like, "Well, how like everything's so nice and clean." And they always like reward my wife with the credit, but it's actually kind of like partially mine.
So you go there for shopping every week?
I go there for, okay, so they have, IKEA family members have coffee, like free coffee every single time you go there.
So you're a member?
So I grab coffee there, I grab a lot of stuff. I just kind of like window shop a little bit over there, but this is a nice place. It's like an adult playground almost. You go there and you just get whatever you want. It's pretty awesome. But it's like a way that people make me feel old though now.
You go there to eat?
Their desserts are amazing, by the way. Yeah. People who don't go to IKEA for desserts, they're pretty awesome. They make like Swedish desserts. It's uncanny compared to U.S. desserts. I'll tell you that much. This is the one with the dry rub?
Yes, it is.
Dry rubs are
This is the one I got from Denver. It was one of the
Which one on here?
This one right here.
The ghost chili?
So it goes from lowest to hottest.
Okay.
To right here right now.
Alright. Bismillah. Alright, here we go.
So we have this little segment here called Explain That Gram, where you have pictures from your Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And I'll show you the picture, you just give us the bigger picture right here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright, so this one right here.
Me and my wife went to a place called At Home to get a wall art, and this guy basically, we realized that the painting was too big to fit in our trunk, and and we didn't have like a rope to tie it in to like keep it in there. So a guy named Brother Pope, who was apparently a pastor at some church, he just come over. He's like, "Hey brother, you need some help?" And he basically just gave us like a big piece of rope to tie it in, and that was that. And he was like, it was just impressive. That's why I kind of posted that. I was like, dude, it seems like a stupid picture. It's like the back of a Honda Accord and a painting sticking in with a rope. But the reason why I did it was because of the story behind it. The picture's kind of dumb, but yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, where'd you guys find it on Facebook?
We did our research over here.
All right. Well, that was from the day my brother-in-law and my sister got married in my parents' home in 2008. I don't remember what he was doing at that moment, but I was laughing at it. But it seems like Sharif is doing all the work. Like, I don't know what my brother-in-law is doing, but he got married that day. Sammy Kinefaj is a hobbit, by the way. I hope y'all know this. If you can tell. Y'all won't be able to tell, but the comments on that picture is all about how everyone's calling him a hobbit. He looks like a hobbit apparently, and he's running with like a water gun. This is a summer camp in MIC where we both are just kind of playing around and just kind of making the kids' day fun. And Sammy obviously was taking it way too seriously, and I don't know what happened to him at that point.
Please explain this to us.
Every single male Muslim growing up that has sisters knows that a mandatory fara'id upon you is to wear the hijab at one point from age 5 to 10 and try it on.
Same here, man.
I did it. I did it because my sisters wanted me to do it. So I put that on for some reason, and clearly it didn't work out. So
it's all good.
That's why.
Let's try the next one.
Okay. How many have we done so far? This is like.
I think that's 5.
Okay, so we're halfway down. This next one right here? This is the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
And this is the
Yucateco. El Yucateco.
Hot sauce habanero. I don't know if it's like I can't taste the heat because my mouth is still like from like the last one is still like spicy, but
So, how has your brother-in-law had an effect on where you are now, and do you think it would have been different if he wasn't in your life?
Yeah, for sure. I think my brother-in-law is definitely like an active member of like my mentor group. He definitely has like inspired me to kind of like, well, he was like the first like really religious person, the person that actually was like very devout to their faith, but I saw at the same time they could kick it and play basketball and kind of like play Xbox with me and stuff like that. So that's what kind of really brought about the whole thing about like, you know, him being like my role model. And then from there, obviously, like everyone makes fun of me saying like, you know, I'm basically like a 5'10" version of Murphy, big guy version of Murphy, but it's just because like we're always in constant contact with each other and stuff like that. And like whenever I have a question about anything, I always go up to him first before anybody else. So he's had like a definitely like a number one like role in my development as a person, and also not just like a career wise, but as a person too. I think that's a lot of people don't see, is that he helped me a lot throughout my life, like as a human being, more than just like a youth director or like, you know, like a junior imam or something, you know.
So we all know good speeches involve thought, preparation, revision. Run us through some of your BTS behind speech writing and how that goes for you.
Well, I'm a big time dude that has to write everything down. I write everything down. Not meaning like every single talk I give, I write word for word, I write it down, but every single time I prep, I always have a rule. Whenever I give a talk or I give a khutbah or I'm teaching, for every hour that I speak, that's 4 hours of prep. So I'm meticulous about preparation, meticulous about prepping, and making sure that I have everything done before I go out and do it. I never, it actually is like a pet peeve of mine when I hear speakers just go up and just like wing it. I've heard people in Memphis actually do that too, and I ask them, like, I'm like, hey, like, you know, like, how long did it take you to kind of like, you know, like get ready for this? And they're like, oh, I don't even know what I'm speaking about, and that really irks me a lot because it shows that you don't care about it. Like, my biggest thing is like, whatever you do, you care about it. You got to put in a lot of work for it. So, for me, I have to write things down. I have to study. I have to take notes. I have to make sure that everything's like solid before I go up there, because I have to earn my place to be able to tell people, you know, especially something in this field. You can't just wing it. It's so sacred and filled with like heaviness that you can't just like go out there and just give it your, you know, your second best. You have to give it your complete best. So that's definitely my go-to advice for speaking. Yeah.
All right, you got the next one. I know your mouth is burning. Mine is too.
It's
the next one we have is from a local taco shop. It's called Elena's Taco Shop.
I love Elena's. Next to my house.
You've seen the description for this. It's like basically hypnotizing heat.
This is the biggest. This is the hottest one. The
hottest one that they have. It's at the end of the shelf.
Okay.
They have all their hot to medium, and then they have like seriously hot.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Work tonight. All right, here we go.
So I know you've been talking for a while now. Can you tell us how you overcame stage fright and nervousness?
Well, to get it out of the way, no one ever really overcomes that. Every time I give a khutbah at any masjid, I still get nervous. Just this past Friday, I gave khutbah at MIC, and I was telling my wife, who was in the car with me, I said, I'm really nervous for this one, I don't know why. But I think the reason why I get nervous is because I actually care about it. If you don't get nervous, that means you don't really care about it anymore. So how I overcame, like, just like the general nerves of like speaking every time, I think it's just practice. I mean, practice in front of like big groups, practice in front of small groups. I find that small groups are hard to speak in front of because everyone's looking at you. During a khutbah, unless your khutbah is like the best khutbah you've ever given in your life, you'll see like folks in the corner dozing off and like, you know, the brother over there snoring and stuff like that. So it's like kind of like going through practice and stuff like that. And but I remember YQ, Sheikh Yasser was holding like a public speaking seminar one time at MIC, and randomly he called me up to demonstrate. And by the way, like Samir, who was the other person that was doing it, got like the easiest thing to explain. So Samir's topic or his prompt was explain, you know, what the 5 prayers are, what's the significance of prayer. And then Sheikh Yasser calls me up and he goes, explain to non-Muslims the whole idea of angels. I'm like, dude, that's like that involves like Islamic jurisprudence. That involves like Islamic like aqidah and stuff. I'm like, so I got up there. I think I said the word in a span of 1 minute and 30 seconds. I said the word like 30 times or 40 times, and YQ just bashed me for it.
And we didn't even know he counted each one.
He counted each one. That's how meticulous he is. So he counted each one, and he hates every time I bring up this story, but it must be brought up to bring this man to justice. He did that to me, but he did it for a good reason, and I go back and see it in retrospect.
I guess this was your test of like how you'll be in
the
future.
It was, and if it was that thing, I guarantee you that they would have never hired me. But I think that kind of drove me to become better. I realized I sucked at it, so I had to get better at it. So
right, that one is the Halal Guys red sauce that you get in New York or all over the place.
The one they put over the rice.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Usually we like douse it with the white sauce and like, you know, blend it in, but this is like straight up right there.
Oh man. Yeah, this is like spicy towards the point it's bitter now.
Yeah.
It's bitter. It's not even spice anymore. Bro, what is this? What is this?
It even changes like taste whenever it dries out too. It gets even hotter.
I'm not even enjoying this one, dude. I enjoyed all the other ones.
Alright, so is it true that you have been sleeping with the same body pillow since you were a child and refused to sleep without it?
Alright. First of all, who told you about this?
We do our research. Is it true or is it not?
Hold on, it needs to be explained. Listen, it needs to be explained. Yes, but the cloth around the pillow is cleaned all the time. Okay?
So it's the same pillow, different sheet.
It's no, it's the same pillow, same sheet, but washed constantly. Okay?
Okay.
It's like owning a shirt for 20 years and you wash it forever, but the shirt's not on me; it's on my pillow.
So you put the whole sheet, the whole pillow in the washer?
No, take the sheet off of it and put it in the washer. What the heck is this thing, dude? This is like
it's getting hot.
Okay. Same pillow, same sheet, washed constantly. It's fresh. I don't know who you got this information from. Who leaked that to you? They probably give you some misinformation about that. I'm saying the record straight. Camera, audio. It's clean.
Alright, so we got two more. Right here we got the hottest sauce that I could find from Bombay House. And this sauce is made out of, I think, a California Reaper or a ghost pepper, one of the two. Has a curry flavor to it.
This is the one that's lighter?
Yes.
I was wondering, this looks like a normal piece of fried chicken almost. But
yeah, this looks harmless.
Wow, okay. Bombay House looks harmless and dreadful. I'm deadly. Not dreadful, it's okay. That one tastes like if you walked into Bombay House and breathed in air, that's what this is.
Basically.
My God. Okay.
Alright, this was supposed to be our 10th wing. So I was supposed to dab this wing with the last.
Okay.
So can you take it with one dab on your wing? Here, I'll put mine one.
Oh my God, what the heck is this thing? This is like from Jahannam, dude. This is from like some other thing.
That's a generous little dab right there.
Like spread it around a little bit.
With his napkin. Don't know where that's been.
It's my mom. Yeah.
So now that you've traveled and got to see other communities, what can you take back? Improving your own community and improving the youth involvement, bringing them closer to the masjid.
Give me a second. My nose is like watering. My lip, like I can't really feel my lips right now, but we'll get there. Okay. What about community?
How can you improve the community now that you've seen different communities?
That last one did it, dude. It's like, okay. What can I bring back to the community?
Now that you see different communities, you know, traveling and whatnot, what can you bring those ideas back to your own community to improve the youth, to bring them closer to the masjid?
Go to gym. Go to gym for Memphis. That's the first thing you should do. Get somewhere where people can play basketball. Woo! That was crazy. I'm sorry. Hold on. Every time I breathe, it's like. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. Get a gym. Number one. Get a gym. Number two. It's a team effort. One youth director can't fix everything. You have to have like a supporting staff behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And do social events. Social events over like religious things can always happen with social events. Like having like a 10-minute reminder. It's not all about classes. It's not always about lectures. Go out there, get some basketball going. Get some like ice cream socials going. Get some pizza nights going. Video game tournaments, all that stuff. Like movie nights for girls and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most important thing. So gym, social events, have a supporting staff behind the youth director.
Alright, so we're at the end of the game, the last wing.
This is worse than the last
This one is, we've all seen the videos of the hot noodle challenge, the spicy noodle challenge. And it's one thing to eat the noodles with the sauce. It's another thing to have a wing doused with the sauce in it all over. all over it. So
I feel it's weird. Like, so before you even continue, I don't want people to see my face while I'm reacting like this. This is.
It's more of a personal, experience.
Man, it's like. Okay, I'll leave this one sweet.
Alright, so now that you've conquered all the sauce, you have one more hurdle, and that is, I want you to give me your best impression
Oh God!
of YQ.
Well, last time I did this, it almost went viral.
Now it will.
Last time I did this, I don't know if I was working with him, but... Oh, man. Alright, if Sheikh Yasser ever watches this...
He probably
for any
will.
instant, this is out of love and admiration and respect. You have to give me a prompt, a thing to say, like YQ explaining something. What do you want YQ to explain, and I'll do it.
An amazing deed that you need to do, and without this, you will not enter Jannah. Something like that.
This deed, it needs to be done meticulously, carefully, and very wisely planned out. It must be beautiful, excellent, and admirable at the same time. This deed alone will get you to paradise, to Jannah, to the land that we are all promised if we're good people. That was it.
Alright, that's
Oh my God!
I think they're holding that in the whole time.
Give me a napkin. Give me a freaking napkin, dude. This is not because water actually doesn't do anything with heat. This is for the heat. The milk was drank because
Listen, we don't want any of your excuses.
No, listen. It's true that you haven't sleeping with the same bottle of body pillow since you were a kid and refused to sleep without it. I don't refuse to sleep without it. I've got plenty of time.
Refuse to sleep without it.
Don't get this straight, okay? I've slept plenty of times without it. I travel, okay? I go visit people. I don't sleep with my freaking pillow everywhere I go. I sleep with them on my own bed. Yeah, look at my bed.